Hi everybody, it's Meg here, and this screencast is going to go over and review the process of creating a discipline referral in Infinite Campus. So when you log into your Infinite Campus, you're going to see a screen that looks like this. This is your control center on the instruction side of campus. To get to the place where we need to do a behavior referral, we're going to click the hamburger icon in the upper left corner. Then we're going to click on the word instruction and switch over to the tools side of Infinite Campus. Once you're on the tools side of Infinite Campus, you're going to see a menu down the left side. On this menu, you're going to have significantly less options than I have, but that's fine. And the option that you need is behavior. So go ahead and open up the behavior item, and then underneath it's going to say behavior referral, and click on that. So this is where you go to create a new behavior referral. To start a new one, you're going to go ahead and click on new, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit so it's centered. And then you're going to see the incident detail information and this is where we're going to start to fill out the details about our incident, obviously. First is the alignment, and the alignment is basically discipline or award. So discipline is something that they did that was negative. Award is something that they did that was positive. For the sake of this, we're going to be doing a discipline. So I'm going to keep that as discipline. Next is the date of the incident, and it's going to autofill to the current date. The only time you'd really have to change this is if for some reason you were writing the behavior referral on a day that the behavior didn't actually happen. So you'd have to go back and backdate it. The time of the incident, again, auto defaults to the time that you're writing the referral. If the time is significantly different than if the time of the incident is significantly different than this time, go ahead and change that here. Below that, you're going to have your notify. This is which member of the administration staff should be responsible for processing this behavior referral. I'm in as a high school teacher, so I have the options for the high school administrators. So for the high school, Kalisha Lewis would be dealing with students that are in the 8th grade. Emily Hunt is going to be dealing with students that are in the 9th and 10th grade, and Annie Obradovich is going to be dealing with students that are in the 11th and 12th grade. If you are at the elementary or central, just please talk to your administrators about which person. It's likely the dean of students for your building, though. Once we've got that notified, those 3 things are in red, so those 3 things we have to fill out, so make sure that you have those filled out. It will not let you go on unless you have all those done. Next, we're going to go into the title, and the title is a very, very, very brief description, like 1 to 2 words of what happened. In my case, there was a fight, so I'm going to write fight. The next is the context. So did it happen before class, during class, after class? In my case, this one happened during lunch. And then you can put your context description. Maybe I want to say that it happened during 4th period lunch. Next, you're going to have your location. So because it happened at lunch, it happened at the cafeteria. The next box says building IRN. When you read this box, I want you to really read it as location description. So maybe I want to put a room number here or something like that, or I want to put which cafeteria it was in if that's applicable to you. But again, these boxes right here, they're not required. So if the information seems to be really redundant and you're just typing the same thing over and over again, just skip it. It's not, you don't have to have absolutely every single box filled in aside from the boxes with red. Next, we're going to go on to the details. Now, in this details box, it's extremely important that you do not have any student names in this details box. No student names whatsoever. So I'm going to say student A took a container of chocolate pudding from student B, and then student B punched student A in the face, as one would, of course. Then both students fought until they were okay, so started with some pudding. Student A took from student B. Student B punched student A, and then they both started fighting until they were separated. So no student names in there. Just a brief description of what happened without having any student names. We will definitely have a chance to name names later and associate those names with their role in the discipline referral, but for now, this is just not the place. And the reason it is because any student that is tied to this behavioral referral will have access to these details as well as their parents, and it's really just none of their parents' business what the other students involved with the incident were doing. Next, we're going to go down to add event participants, and here we're going to choose our event type. Let's scroll it up a little bit so we can see better. So our event type for this one is going to be fighting, physical aggression, fighting. And then underneath, we're going to start naming names with our students. So here I have my filter for students, all people, or school employees. These are students that we're fighting. So I am going to search for my students. You can just type in their last name and then search. So Mickey Mouse was the first one. So now when I have my student named right here, in this details box, I can say exactly what Mickey did in this behavior referral. So Mickey was holding a container of chocolate pudding, and then another student came up and stole it, and then Mickey punched the other student in the face. Both students began to fight until they were set. Okay, so that's what happened. Mickey was holding the container of pudding, another student came up and stole it, and then Mickey punched the student in the face, and then they both were fighting. Okay, so notice I just have Mickey's name, no other student name. So we still don't know who Mickey was fighting with. All right, now we're going to add our other student, that's student B. Again, same process. We're going to filter by student, and we're going to search for their last name. All right, when I choose my second student, Minnie Mouse, obviously, it's going to pull up the same details that I just wrote for Mickey. This is really beneficial if, say, every student really did the same thing, so you don't have to keep typing. Like, if you were writing a behavior referral, for example, for all the kids that were tardy for second period, you could just have your details kind of say they were tardy for second period, and then those would copy over for every student, which would be really beneficial. For this case, it's not super beneficial because I don't want Minnie's parents, for example, to see what Mickey was doing, and it doesn't even say what Minnie was doing. So we're going to delete these and just start over. So Minnie walked up to another student and took their chocolate pudding. The student punched Minnie, and then both students fought until they were set. Okay, so that's what Minnie's role in it. She took the pudding, she got punched, and then they had this physical altercation that followed. So there I have my information about my two. You'll notice that for the role, both Mickey and Minnie are offenders. They were both fighting. They're both involved in that. You do also have other role options for participant, victim, and witness. Most of the time you're going to be putting it in for offenders, and that's what it defaults as anyway. If you had other students involved, maybe Donald Duck was present as well, you can also add him as another offender, as another participant, as a witness, whatever. From there, once I've got all my students taken care of, I'm going to hit Save Draft. Now you'll see down at the bottom, I've got my physical aggression as the event and those two participants, and they're both offenders. Now, say I also wanted to cite Minnie on the stealing thing because she did steal some chocolate milk. I can also do another add event participant, or she stole chocolate pudding, sorry. Chocolate milk, who would really care? I could find my one for stealing, theft, we'll call that. I can say Minnie was involved in that. I can do the details. Minnie stole someone's pudding. So that is also on there too. Minnie didn't just get in a fight. She also stole as well. So you can kind of tack on with these. I can check Mickey to include him in this as well. And I can even change this to Mickey being the victim of the thievery here. But it's not always necessary. And the rest of the details of our discipline referral kind of make that obvious. So I'm going to not bother. I'm going to go ahead and save draft, and then you'll see down at the bottom, I've got my physical aggression with Mickey and Minnie involved. I got my theft with just Minnie involved. Now from here, I'm pretty much done entering all the information that I need to enter in, and now you have some options up here. Here I can either save the draft, I can save it, maybe I need to run off to do something else, I can save it, come back to it later. I can submit it. This is going to take it off of my plate and give it to the administrator that I indicated, in this case, Miss Lewis. I can delete it. Maybe I decide later that it was all just a wild misunderstanding and I don't really want anyone to get in trouble for it. I can delete it and that'll be like it never happened. Or I can leave it as it is and create a new referral about maybe something else and I want more time to think about this one. In my case, I'm ready. I'm good. This is all set. I'm going to submit it. Now it is submitted. It tells us that it is submitted. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Now you do get some process referral or some process notices that will tell you when a referral has been processed and the students have been given a consequence for the referral. But the process notifications that come back are very cryptic. They kind of just say like a referral that you submitted on a random day was processed and doesn't give you a whole bunch of information. If you're interested and want to know what happened to referrals that you have submitted, you can go to the tab called Ad Hoc Reporting and then Data Export. And for you, you're going to have a lot less, so don't worry about all that. You're going to open up the box that says Teachers, and underneath it, it's going to say Referrals and Consequences for User. If you click on that there, that's going to give you a spreadsheet of all of the referrals that you personally have submitted and what kind of became of them. What was the consequence that was given to the student? So there is your quick overview on submitting behavior referrals. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at msomerville@euclidschools.org. Hope you have a great day. Thanks.